Hey everyone, happy Tuesday. I'm so glad you could join us today for our webinar, Your Online Presence, Who's Seeing It and How Can You Grow It? I'm Amanda and I'm your host. We've also got Steve, who's behind the scene as our tech master. And our star of the show today is Gabe Brunk, a senior customer success manager here at Surefire Local. Before we dive right in case you're not as familiar with Surefire and who we are in Northern Virginia, and we strive to make online marketing easier for our customers through our all-in-one local marketing platform. Our mission here is pretty simple. We want to help transform your team into local marketing superheroes so that you can grow your business. So we hold these webinars to get you to the next level. Two quick reminders before I pass things over to Gabe. The recording of today's workshop will be ready later this afternoon, and you should receive an email when lifetime access becomes available. Also, while you're listening this morning, feel free to ask any questions in the chat box, and I'll make sure Gabe answers them for you at the end of his chat. So he has a really great agenda for everyone today. He's going to be sharing specific tactics that'll help you grow your online presence, and he'll give you their difficulty level as well as their level of impact. So get ready for an awesome conversation and start thinking about the marketing activities you already do and open your mind to even more tactics that'll put you ahead of your competitors. So now I'm going to pass it on over to Gabe.
Thanks, Amanda. Thanks for that great introduction. Hey, everybody. So glad you could join us today on this webinar. As Amanda said, my name is Gabe Brunk, and I'm a customer success manager here at Surefire. If you have any questions, I love questions. So like Amanda said, as we go through these topics, we have a lot to go through today. And as we get through them, just ask away. And Amanda will ask them at the end, and I'll make sure to run through them. So the primary goals we're going to get through today are, first off, doing a brief overview of how you can run through the internet and look at your visibility online. You can do it in 5 minutes, just a quick checkup, see how you're showing online, how your customers are viewing you. And then second part of that is once you have that information, we'll walk through 14 tips of how to help build that presence over time. So if you notice anything in your visibility check that needs to get worked on, then we'll walk through ways to prioritize getting them all cleaned up. And then third part is different ways, once you have those tasks at hand, ways to automate that, make it go faster, take less of your time managing those things on a weekly basis. So first part is 5-minute visibility check. So there's a lot of different ways that your customers will view your business online. And all of us view the internet in different ways. We'll use different parts of it. We'll go and check different things when we're looking around. So there's different ways to go online and check how your customers are seeing you. So first one is just go online and check out your business. Go on to Bing, go on to Google, different search engines, go around and check, how am I showing up? Google your name, Google your services, do it from your office, go to different geographies and try it. This will give you a really good first impression of what your customers are seeing when they search for you. You can check and see where your different website pages are showing in the Google search results and Bing search results. You can see what competitors are showing up. You can see which of your listings are prominent, Home Advisor, different types of directory listings. How are you showing up? Really surface level, what are your customers seeing? In addition to your website, you can look at your Google My Business page, your Yelp, Nextdoor, all these different directory listings online that work to look at industry or businesses in your industry and help show that information to people who are searching for them. So first, you want to check and make sure information is accurate. You want to check and see if you have control over these listings. A lot of them will auto-generate listings for your company, even if you manually didn't go in and do it. So if you're not managing it, that means that the information might be incorrect, might be some information that customers are finding that's not accurate to who your business is today, if these might have been created a couple of years ago. And what Google does is when they're looking at who to rank for certain search results, they are looking through all of these directory listings. If your information is accurate, if it's correct, if it's up to date, they'll give you more visibility because they're more sure that you are a legit business that is has all their information where they want it. So they're more sure about showing you in higher placements in search results. In addition to your website, directory listings, social media is also important. This is a great way to reach out to past customers, try to get referrals for your business. And a lot of people are using this, and there's so many different social media platforms out there that just like your directory listings, having all this information updated and correct is really, really important. So go to your social media accounts, go to your Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, any of these different places. Even if it's not a social media account that you personally use a lot, there's certain ones that I use in my personal life, but people are diverse, they're different, they like different social medias. So as a business owner, it's important to not only look at the ones that you like, but also think, okay, how are my customers going to find me? Is my information accurate there? So go around, check, have you changed your brand name? Have you changed your logo? Is that up to date everywhere? Is your name access, your location, all of this stuff? Businesses change over time. You want to make sure your social media is up to date about who you are in this moment in time. So once you've run through all of those, you can go and sort of check and say, okay, how is my business doing? You can give yourself a grade. So this is a quick little chip. You guys can create your own version of this, but if you found yourself on every one of those platforms, everything's accurate, everything's up to date, give yourself an A, you're doing a great job. Usually there's little things you'll find. So once you go down through this, maybe there's a couple of them you couldn't find. Maybe you couldn't find your Facebook profile. Did you ever create a Facebook profile for your business, a business account? Or did you find it, but the information was incorrect? Go down through that list, do a quick, again, 5-minute scan, see what you find, see what you don't find. That's your starting point. That's where you are right now. And if you don't see anything, this is a way that most people will find your business, whether through your website, directory listings, Google My Business, or it's your past customers going back to check up on you. So having all this information out there, accurate, up to date, is really important. So once you know what that is, then you can start moving to the next step. So skim through all this stuff, make sure your name is accurate everywhere, make sure your website is showing up, photos are there. This is all the information that the two people that you're trying to influence. You're trying to influence Google, you're trying to influence the internet, and then the second one is your customers. This right here is a little list of everything that they look at. Google's algorithms read through all of the stuff online, and also users, when they go to search for you, will look through all of this, and that's what we see as your online presence. It's going to be, is your name accurate everywhere, phone, location. We call that your NAP data, name, address, phone number. You want to have all of that completely up to date across the web. You want to make sure that the ways that people can go online and check on what your reputation is, they want to check and make sure they can find you, maps, ads, ways that they view you online, and then also just information that proves you are who you say you are, videos, photos. These are things that help show Google and show customers, yes, this is a legitimate company. Here's some information about what they've done in the past. That will make people more sure of who you are, so that when they contact you, they already kind of know what you do, the quality of work you do, and that you're updated and you communicate with your customers very well. 73% of customer engagements happens off your website. This is a question that I get a lot from customers that I work with, especially when I first start working with them on the monthly basis that I do with my customers, is they will focus 100% on their website and say, this is what I need to do, let's keep it updated. That's true, your website is an important part of your online presence. A lot of people will go there. But in addition to that, there's all these different ways that people will find you, and a lot of your conversions, the way people contact you, will be what we call off-site conversions, meaning it's people who found you maybe on Facebook, maybe Google My Business, maybe through an ad, maybe through YouTube, whatever, and they can contact you directly through those platforms as well. So your website is something to focus on, but with the internet, people will be contacting you from all these different places. So each one of these you keep up to date is going to be another lead generation source, another piece of information to help you keep your customers up to date. And they each have their different strategies. So that's something, if anybody has any questions about that, please put them in the chat. We'll run over that at the very end of this. Especially with COVID, we've been seeing a spike on the number of people that are checking up for things online as things are moving more and more online. It's safe right now. And even just over time, this is a trend that's been happening. People are going more mobile. People are using the internet to search for what they're looking for. Everything's on the internet at this point. So everyone's using it in their own way to try to find you, to find your information, especially local businesses, as people will be searching for service near me, for instance. If your information is all updated, that's how they'll be able to find you as a local business in your service area. You want to have a strong presence, encapsulate your entire service area. We'll talk about strategies of how to do that in just a minute. And then connect with businesses. This is not something where you're some big box store who's just trying to sell a product and then you're done. This is a relationship. You want to be able to connect to your customers on both a service level and also on an emotional level. You want to show them through your reviews, through the way you reply to your reviews, that not only do you listen to customers, you also respond back, you engage with them. And this is a great way to get referrals, and you want to become the business that helps this customer not only once, but also into the future with any problems they have, questions they have, and become that resource for them. Over time in search results, Google and Bing and these different places vary what they find important in terms of how they're showing you online. These are two metrics. This is the most updated information we have through trial and error. A lot of SEO companies have started to discover and continue to discover what information Google looks for the most online to decide who to show in certain types of results. So these are two different types of results. Local pack is what is part of the Google Map pack. So this is coming from Google Maps. If you do a search result, you will usually see 3 search results from this, and it will show 3 businesses that Google thinks are good recommendations for solving whatever search was done. Organic is your website. So this is going to be anything at the very bottom of the page on a search result that shows a list of your websites, your competitors' websites, Home Advisor, etc. All these different search results that come up where Google is basically skimming through all the different pages out there in your local area and saying, okay, here are the pages that most accurately represent this search and can give you the best information. So looking down through this list, you'll see that the percentages differ on each of them. Local pack is primarily focused on Google My Business at this point. We could call Google My Business your second website because Google values the information on that directory so highly. 33% of showing up in Google Maps is having your Google My Business page completely filled out and updated. The number and quality of reviews you have is super important for showing up on Google Maps. And then skimming down through it, on page's website, links is the number of other sites linking to your website, et cetera, et cetera. Organic is primarily going to be your website. It's what information, what content do you have on your website, on your blogs, information on your domain name. And is that updated? Are you continually putting new information on your website to keep it relevant for your business? And we'll talk about ways to keep those metrics up in just a minute again. Links, again, is our other high quality websites forwarding customers to your website. Behavior is, is your quality business, et cetera. So again, you'll see that there's different pieces of information that you can provide that will help you show up in different results. So it's not like there's one guide that if you do this, you will show up everywhere. Each different area that you can show up in has different metrics. And so part of what we do at Surefire is help you manage all of this. It's not about targeting one particular piece like your website and forgetting everything else. You want to be doing all of it. That's what's going to help you the most, not in just one type of ranking, but everywhere. So that's a quick 5-minute run through of how you can run through Google, run through social media, and check up on how you're doing right now. The next step is to say, okay, now that I have this information, what do I do next? Where do I go with this? What actions can I take as a local business owner to help succeed, to help move forward, especially in the areas that you might find that you're lacking? So we're going to run through each one of these separately. These are 14 tactics that you want to be doing on a regular basis to keep showing up high in all these different locations. So we'll run through content, a slew of different Google My Business actions that Google keeps enhancing that you can do, reviews for your company, how important your website is, business listings, those are your directory listings online. Social media is going to be how am I connecting to my customers on social media, email marketing, Google and Bing ads, Facebook ads, the importance of mobile speed for your mobile website, and then ways to automate each one of these to sort of save you time over the course of your week and your month. So first tactic, content. This is something that Google's algorithms are constantly looking for because this is what Google will look at to see, is this business relevant to this particular search? So in the past, you might have heard of SEO and search engine optimization and what that means. Well, this is one piece of it. Every tactic we're going to talk about is going to help with what search engine optimization is. Part of it is keywords, part of it is just the content you have on your site, because Google is now able to read your website like a human does. So it's just about putting an accurate representation of your business on your site so that they know who you are, what you do, the service area you serve. We'll also be going through each of these 14 in terms of how difficult it is for you to do on a regular basis and the impact it will have on your business if you do it regularly. So content is all about relevancy. It's saying, how do I describe my business, and then putting that out there in ways that Google can read. So you want to create this on your site. You want to have services pages. You want to tell people what services you offer. You want to have areas we serve. What areas, where am I? If you're a service area business, where will I travel to? If you're a service, if you sell goods, where do I ship them to, et cetera. So you want to have an accurate representation of who you are and what services you provide. Structure and reliability is important because you can write something in a way that users can read, but there's also shortcuts from a high-level tech perspective called schema that talks about, okay, is this information on the back end of my site created in a way that Google's algorithms can easily read? Because they will read down through your site, but we can also give them tags or highlights about each page that let them very quickly and easily understand what is on that page from a tech standpoint, so that if somebody goes on to Google and is searching for that service, then Google's algorithm can say, oh, okay, I know that this page is about blank, so that means it's going to be very relevant and they'll be likely to show it in search. We want to make this really easy for them so they don't have to go searching for it. And then you want to create a lot of different types of content. You want to talk about anybody that visits your site, anybody that reads your information, whether they are just looking for information about your industry, whether they're talking about, I'm actively looking for this service today, whether they're looking to refer somebody else to you. Again, people use your website for all different sources of information. So by having a variety of information on there, it will increase the likelihood that you will show up no matter what somebody is searching for. The more people that you can show up in search results for, the more visitors you get, the more relevant and important Google will see your website. And then over time, your website will start to get more and more visible, more and more authority that Google will then show in more places. So it's a rolling ball that just starts to snowball over time. And yeah, different people respond to different types of content, so you can want to have a combination of different things. Off to the right in each of these, we'll have some stats talking about these individual ones. So for instance, a lot of companies spend a lot on content creation. It takes time to write this information. You can do it, you can hire other people to do it. Our software and our platform makes it easy to post it to a lot of different places and get the most bang for your buck for the time you put in there. So we'll run through that at a later time. Blog posts are important, getting consistent information up to your website. You don't want to just put one piece of information there and let it sit. After content is set on your website for a certain period of time, Google will say, okay, this is kind of outdated. So you want to be adding information, adding blogs to your site, keep that content fresh and relevant so that Google knows this is a current, accurate representation of what your business is. Tactic 2 is service areas for Google My Business. This is very easy to set up. You don't need to change it a whole lot unless you change your strategy for your site. And it's a major factor that Google uses to decide where to show you online. So this is super, super important. Basically what this is if you go into your Google My Business page, you'll have a service areas section. Whether or not you're a service areas business, this is important to put in here because it tells Google what people you want to help the most. So especially for local businesses, this is your bread and butter because you are literally telling Google, these are the cities, the zips, the towns, whatever that I want people to find me for. If you don't have this in here, Google's just kind of guessing. So you don't want Google to guess. You want to go in there, take control of your marketing and say, this is where I want to show up for. So just as easy as going online, I usually recommend starting with counties, then drilling down from there into cities, towns, zip codes. You can put up to 20 in Google My Business. So prioritize what your top 20 are and go from there. Not a whole lot more to say from there, but it's super, super important. A lot of companies I start working with don't have this set up. And this is a major factor that Google looks for when they're deciding where to show your search results, especially in that Google Maps map pack search results. Google Posts is a newer feature that Google My Business offers that not a lot of people are taking advantage of yet, but we do know that it helps. It's more or less like posting, you could say, a Facebook update, but to your Google My Business page. Very easy. It doesn't have as much of an influence as some other stuff, but still still very important to keep information out there. When you go to your Google My Business page, there'll be a section that says posts. This is something that when anybody goes online, and if they see your Google My Business page in map packs, if they see it anywhere online, they will be able to see your most recent post there as well. So this is a way to show, again, relevancy, recency, showing what information you want your customers to know about your business today. This is great for talking about offers, testimonials, adding photos to your posts. And it's something that we recommend doing at least once a month, multiple times per month, so that, say, if somebody's evaluating your business and 2 or 3 other businesses, if you have a post up there that says we are offering this specific discount for this time period, adds a sort of sense of urgency that helps them choose your business over some other competitors. So a lot of different strategies to do with this, but just keep people updated about what you're doing, what you're excited about, what's new about your business. Like these stats say, 40% of businesses have never ever created a post. It's new. And then the people that are using it, see the most benefit from it, are doing a Google post at least once a week. So highly recommend you start doing that on a regular basis to keep your visibility strong. Questions and answers is another feature of Google My Business that not a lot of people utilize, but it's also very powerful. Now, this is something that you do have to keep up with in order to keep it flowing. And it's pretty easy once you get in there. So all this is users can go onto your Google My Business page and ask your business questions. This can be anything. This can be, what are your open hours? It can be a very specific drill down into your services. It can be asking about cost, service area, anything. Once somebody goes onto your Google My Business page and asks this, then it's on you to log into your page and respond to that question. And both the question and the response will then stay on your Google My Business page forever. And it's a way for then in the future, anybody else that has that question can go onto your page, see it, instantly know the answer to their question, and it just gives more relevant information about your company. It also shows that not only do you help your customers, but you are very good at responding back to them, which is a great first impression for anybody trying to decide if they want to work with your business. If they see that you are checking this, responding back, helping your customers with their questions, both Google and customers love seeing that. And in addition to you being able to go and respond to these questions, you also have the option to go and seed questions of your own. And it won't necessarily show that you're the business owner, it just shows that a question was asked. So if you have questions that you get asked a lot about your company, put them in here. Go and add your own question and then also respond back to it. And then anybody else in the future who is reading that will be able to get really updated information about your company. People love seeing questions from other people. They, gives a sense of authenticity to your company. So yeah, do this regularly. Our software makes it really easy to get notifications when you get this and also to reply back. So ask for a demo if you want to see more of what that can do. And then again, anybody who goes to your Google My Business page in the future will be able to read through this list of past questions and answers to get updated information about your company. Google My Business, photos and videos, also very important. This goes back to constantly updating your content to make sure that everybody can see the most recent information. Very easy to do, also has a humongous impact. We see that companies, it's a pretty straight line. The more photos you have on your page, if you get up to 100, 200 photos, if they're new, that has a huge impact in the number of people that contact you, both visit your website, but also call you directly from your Google My Business page. If you have a lot of information proving what your service area is, proving what your quality of work is, people will want to contact you for more information. So keep posting photos, take photos of your jobs, take photos of your services, take photos of your crew, anything to help prove the quality of your company. Upload it to your Google My Business page continuously. Show fun stuff about your company culture. Maybe you sponsored a fun run or something. Take a photo of that, put it up there. You can upload videos up to 30 seconds to your Google My Business page in addition to pictures. This is a newer feature. So take testimonials. If you're on the job site, if you're talking to a customer, take a quick video. It can be really short, 10, 15 seconds talking about your company. Put that onto your Google My Business page. And now any customer that's trying to decide if they want to work with you can hear from one of your past customers about how great you are. Really powerful stuff. And then, like it says at the bottom, Google considers anything older than 3 weeks no longer recent. So it's still helpful. The quantity overall is good, but you want to keep updating this. It's not a sit and then forget about it. This is an active, breathing community that you want to keep interacting with and able to, in order to get the most out of it. So keep posting photos. Millennials love seeing visual photos. Get in general on social media 10 times more views than posts without photos. So humans are very visual creatures. They respond very, very well to this type of information. Reviews is a major thing that I work with most of my customers. You want to have the most reviews possible. You want them to be new. You want them to be high quality. You want to respond to them. This is your past customers giving you the gift of their recommendation. So we'll run through a bit of how to get these. This is a tremendously huge impact on your company. Best way to do this, reach out to every customer that you know you finished a job for and they're happy, send them a review request. This is a powerful way to just keep getting as many new reviews as you can. This will expand your service area. This will expand how many geographies Google shows you in. Very easy once you start getting into the process, get different types of reviews. So we talk about first-party reviews, which are reviews that you can get directly to your website. And then there's also third-party reviews, things like Google reviews, Facebook reviews, other types of reviews that will increase your visibility online. And also when somebody finds you, these past customers are saying how good of a job you do. So the more of these you have, the more recent they are, the more they're going to help you over time. And again, stats off to the side, 5 to 9% increase in revenue can be attributed to a +1% or +1 star increase. So if you go from a 3-star to a 4-star, that's what you can expect. 4-star to 5-star keeps going up. So the closer to 5 you can get and keep that number fresh, better it's going to help you over time. So keep up your review requests. That's a major thing that can help you out. So we're going to do a poll now. If you can, Amanda, launch this. This is going to let you guys go on and let us know, when did you receive your last review? This could be a Google review. This could be a Facebook recommendation. Just throw this in here real quick. We'll leave it up for at least 30 seconds and just let us know. This is something that we love to see, companies getting consistent new reviews. So let us know what you're seeing on your side. If you don't know, that's fine, but something you should be aware of, because Google's algorithms are aware of this. Every single customer that goes online and is checking you out before they decide to contact you is going to be checking how old is your latest review. Yep. So thanks for entering that. We'll compile that. It's good information. So there you go. Just from the straw poll within the past month, that's great. Past week's even better. The newer these are, the more important they are. So this is looking good within the past month, week. So just keep this up. For those that are within the past 3 months or older than 3 months, just keep it flowing. It's something that, reach out to your past customers, ask them for a review. You'll be happy you did. You'll see positive growth from doing that. Website is something that, again, we say about 25 to 27% of customers will first find you through your website. So it is a solid piece of how people will find you still. It can be hard to keep it updated consistently, but it also has a huge impact. And this can be stuff like keeping blogs updated. This goes back to that content piece we talked about earlier. Keeping information flowing out about your business, get people to give you first-party reviews, create content, get information out there that keeps your website relevant. So a lot of people that we start working with maybe haven't updated their website or had it redesigned in years and years and years. Maybe they haven't posted any new blogs to it. And your website will still be seen, but Google is basically a giant filing system. Every time you add new content, refresh your content, they add that to your file. And the bigger your file is and the newer the information in your file is, the more likely they are to show that information when somebody searches. So a couple of stats off to the side. You want to have a fast website. You want it to be optimized. The longer your website takes to load at a certain point, both on mobile and on desktop, is going to impact your visibility. Google wants to give their customers the best experience possible. So if it takes a long time for them to view your content, they're not going to be as likely to show it, because they'll say, oh, this takes too long. Customers aren't going to use Google anymore. Let's find somebody else who does have this. Things like having your website SSL certificate updated gives you that HTTPS instead of HTTP at the front of your website, meaning that this website is protected from hacking, your information is secure. A lot of people, if they go and see that little red X in the top left, meaning that this website is not secure, much less likely to use it because their data is at risk then. So keep that updated. And just in general, keep your website updated. It's something that I work on with my customers a lot. We have software that helps with this. New content going to your website, very good thing. Keep it updated as your business updates. Business listings. So this is going to your directory listings, kind of like Google My Business, but there's a lot more out there besides that. Our software makes it easy to update these, but there's a lot of information to keep updated otherwise. Things like, think of these as your online yellow pages. That's the analogy I use because there's so many different websites and companies out there that compile lists of companies in specific services so that when they pop up online, it helps customers find you. So Home Advisor is an example of this, Yelp, all these different ones. There's a lot out there. Our software ties into 70 to 80 of them. So the goal of this is that you want your name to be the same across all of them. You want your address, phone number, and then just like your website, each one of these is a little bit of information that customers can find depending how they use the internet. So a lot of these have the option to give a featured message, which is kind of going back to Google Posts. It's a way for you to keep them informed about information, updates, promoting offers, adding photos. It's a lot of work to go to these one at a time and update them and check them. So having some sort of management, directory management is going to be the easiest way to deal with this. And again, off to the right, a lot of customer engagement happens off your website. A lot of it will funnel to your website. Some people will call you directly from these directory listings. Very important to make sure this is updated for seasonality, et cetera, just keeping your information updated. Social media presence, most people understand to a degree what this is, but there's so many different types of social media. 3 or 4 main ones we recommend staying on and just keeping your information updated, keeping posts going out for these consistently. These help with a lot of things. It'll increase the amount of lead generation, traffic. It's creating that sense of loyalty with your past customers, reminding them who you are. And this can be very personal because most of the people that follow you on social media, if it's Facebook, they're not going to see it unless they decided to follow your business. On Twitter, if they're following your business, those are the people that will see your posts. So this is a way to foster engagement with past customers, whether it's to get future work, whether it's to get referrals, whether it's for them to just show a Google ad online, et cetera. So a lot of this can be very personal. It can be saying, oh, our owner bought a puppy, here's a picture. It can be a short post about here's a change in the industry. This is you keeping a personal connection with your sphere of influence, the people that work with you and wants to learn more from you. Everybody that has followed you on social media, that's their way of saying, I want to keep up to date with this customer because they are asking to see any updates you post. So if you have followers, that's great. If you're not posting to social media, you're not getting the most out of it because you're not reminding those people who you are. So 3 to 4 posts a week is ideal because not every one of your customers on Facebook is going to see your post when you post it, depending on what time they're on Facebook, et cetera. So keep this information flowing out. Yeah, and just keep that engagement up to keep that your brand name in the front of everyone's minds. Every time they see your name pop up, their neurons get triggered, and that creates a stronger connection between your brand name, what you do, and the services that you provide. Email marketing is another piece of this, which again takes a little bit of time to set up, but once it does and you have it running, can be another gold mine in terms of getting referrals and people coming back to you. So kind of like with social media, this is you reaching out to past customers or different email lists of companies or businesses you want to reach back out to. So for email campaigns, you can create a slew of different versions of this. You can have responses to leads when they come in. So maybe you have an email list of people who contacted you, but you didn't close or you didn't get any services from them. Those are still people you can reach out to with an email in the future and say, here are our services right now. Maybe that time when they contacted you wasn't when they needed the service, but maybe they do now. And once you have these emails written up, you can send them out to a bulk number of people. Even if 1 or 2 people come back into there for work, that can easily make up for the time it takes to send one of these out. And this can also be used to follow up with customers. Maybe you just finished a job, say, hey, thanks. In addition to sending you a review request, remind them through this. Try to get repeat business. Maybe you provide multiple services that your business, and so you helped a customer with one particular thing, put them back in an email and remind them about something else. Maybe you do roofing. Hey, we also do decks. maybe you're interested in a deck and you didn't need it now. So the more you remind people about this stuff, it'll help pull people back in for additional work. If you have a promotion, this is a great way to send out promotions. Send it out to your past customers or customers you lost in the past to remind them, here's a special discount this month only. Give them a sense of urgency to get them to come back. But again, it's not about doing any one of these particular things we're talking about. It's doing a little bit of all of them because all of them help in their own way. So Google Ads is the next section we'll get into, and advertising, the organic stuff that we're talking about, that will bring in a certain number of people in. Google is always going to give you a bit more of a boost if you pay them to show up higher than you do normally. So organic will grow steadily over time, assuming you're putting this information out there. Google will get this information to decide you are the best choice. Google Ads, Facebook Ads let you give them some money to show higher and get more leads short term. So this can be a little bit daunting to start up, but it can have a huge impact depending on your geography and what services you're promoting. So Google is going to be the search engine that most people use. Bing has a slightly different type of demographic. People will be a bit older, higher income. So again, each of these search engines has their own focus depending on what your goals are. We can dig deeper into it, but you want to use a combination of exact match keywords, phrase match, negative keywords. These are the kind of technical terms about how people search on Google and targeting them using the particular searches that they use in Google search to make them find your company for relevant services. Bidding, landing pages, these are all little things you want to optimize to make sure that the types of clients you want are finding you with the searches that they generally use for that type of service. And then Facebook ads is a similar type of setup where a little bit hard to set up, but it can have a huge impact depending on your goals. Again, all of these different ads have slightly different groups that they target. They have slightly different returns. So you want to set up your advertising based on what your company's goals are. Are you trying to do brand awareness? Are you trying to generate website traffic, lead generation, conversions? You set up your ads differently depending on what your overall goals are for your company. Facebook ads focus a bit more on videos and images. Google search ads obviously do a bit more of descriptions of your businesses or your services. These are going to target videos of your services. What are pictures of your crew at work to target the types of people that show on Facebook. Website speed goes back and forth a lot. Mobile is one piece that a lot of people forget to target because most people at this point will be viewing your website on mobile. It's something that is evolving steadily over time. A lot of people will build their site and not think about customers viewing it on their mobile phones. So it's a piece that you need to think about when you're building a site. Not only how is this site going to show on a desktop, different resolutions, but also how is it going to show when somebody is viewing it from their smartphone. So the way you build your site, where you put information on the site, all important. And things like optimizing your images, choosing what loads at the very top of your page versus what loads when you scroll down. These are all factors you need to think about when you're building a site to make sure that it's showing up quickly and also showing the information that you want your clients to see. So again, stats off to the side, mobile growth is blowing up 9,000% higher for near me type searches over the past 2 years. People often use their cell phones when they're out and about to see what's near them. So that goes back to the geography piece of service areas. Most mobile sites take about 15 seconds to load, and the first 5 seconds is the most important. If you can keep your mobile site showing up in the highest percentage of speed, that's going to have a big impact when Google decides when to show your website versus others. Because if you can give your customers the best experience, Google's going to reward you for that with more visibility online. And then from all of this is all a lot of information. It can take a while to do all this on a weekly, monthly basis. So ideally, as much as possible, you're automating this. It can be difficult to do, but once you have it done, then it speeds up everything. And this is what Surefire is primarily working to do. We're taking all these different pieces, putting them into one piece of software that lets you do all of it at once. Things like saving you time. The more of these you can do with the click of a button rather than needing to skim around, get your logins, etc. Respond to your leads quicker, have a database of all of your leads that you can track over time, consistent presence with your social media and blogs, reduce your cost per lead by knowing what types of leads you're getting back or converting at the highest rate. So where am I putting my marketing dollars versus where am I seeing the most return, et cetera. Looking at your insights to see what is giving you the most feedback, and then overall measuring your return on investment to see, is this working for me? Not just waiting for someone to respond back to you and say, hey, here's what's happening, being able to go in whenever you need to and check this all for yourself. So a lot of small businesses find this difficult to get all this information coming in easily, and it could just a way to boost your productivity so you can focus more on your actual work and not have to spend so much time on this every day when you're working on it. So then the last part of that is, how do you take what we've been talking about, use technology software to adapt and make it all flow really easily? First off, embrace new technology. There's always new information coming out. Google is constantly updating what they have available. So the more of that you're using, they'll reward you for it. Ask other people around you it's what's working for them, and if they can prove that it is, take that into account. If you have something that's working, don't forget it, keep it up, keep doing that, and then also use data to optimize everything. Don't just look at it and think about it, but say, okay, what are the analytics coming back in? Use that to refine your strategy, and then wherever your best return on investment is, where you're putting your money versus where you're getting your return back from, point all of your efforts towards that to make sure that you're maxing out that information. So some of you might have already done a demo of the Surefire Local Marketing Platform. This is our flagship software. We have a couple pieces of software, and this lets you log in anytime. This connects to your website, directory listings, social media, blog, etc. And it pulls all this information in to one place where you can just skim through, check it out. This is a lot of what I work on with the clients that I work with, is skimming through here, optimizing it. So ask if you'd like to see a demo for your company, see if it's something that would work for you. Highly recommend it. We're constantly updating it. A lot of information you can get out of this. And with that, thank you all so much. Great working with you today. Amanda, were there any questions that came up during the call?
Yeah, thanks, Gabe. So before we get into questions, like Gabe said, I want to offer everyone the chance to learn more about how Surefire Local can help you in your business. This is a really great opportunity to explore how an all-in-one local marketing platform can save your team time and money, and ultimately get your business to grow in ways that you may not have known were possible. So we're going to launch a poll, and you can take a moment to answer that and let us know if you're interested in joining a call. And while you all do that, Gabe, we did have a couple of questions. So we had some from Kelly. She's wondering, as a small business owner, what do you think are the cheapest, most high impact techniques to increase my online presence?
Yeah, Kelly, good question. So everything we talked about at the very beginning are things you can do without having to invest any money up front. So I would say blogs. If you're not writing blogs for your site, do that. Everything basically that we talked about besides ads. Ads are something you have to pay for. You pay Google to get more placement. Besides that, honestly, it's about doing a little bit of everything. So that whole first list we ran through, reviews are a huge thing. So getting as many Google My Business reviews as you can, getting Google posts out there, social media posts, just keep your information updated online in a way that customers can see, and they'll reward you for it with contacting you more.
Cool. So she also has another question. If my website is linked to my social media sites, do updates to my social media content help my SEO?
So it depends how it's connected. I'm assuming it's something where you have a feed flowing from your social media to your website, or from your website blogs to your social media. The more you can take information and share it to multiple places, the better, but you do want to do it in a way that Google can read. So without a bit more information about that connection, it's hard to say for sure. But yes, in general, if you can take one piece of information and share it out to multiple places so that A, Google sees it multiple places, and B, customers can view it wherever they happen to be looking online, that will be beneficial.
Great. And then her last question is, if my business is ideally international, meaning she does virtual consulting, should I list where I'm located? I think she's referring to like when you were talking about the Google My Business.
Yeah, that's a great question. So most of what we work on is local businesses. So it's about trying to get a really strong local presence. If you're doing international, the strategy changes a little bit depending on if you do any kind of work at your physical location. So in general, if your home address isn't some place that customers can visit, then in places like Google My Business directories, we recommend hiding your address because it's not something that is very relevant to customers. And again, that's what Google's going for, is relevancy. So if you're an international business, you only do consulting, say virtually, if you don't have people come to your office, then it's more about it's a little less about local service area, and it's more about just keeping information out there about are there places you do and don't work. It's a lot more about talking about your services and especially probably advertising in areas you want to get more work coming in from.
Great. All right, so before we go our separate ways, I just wanted to remind you all that the recording is going to be available later this afternoon if you want to listen back or take more notes. So be on the lookout for that email. So thank you so much, Gabe, and also for everybody else for taking the time out of your day to join us. We hope you can join us again on future webinars. Please take a minute to fill out the survey at the end and let us know how we did and what topics you'd like to hear about in the future. We love checking out the topics you suggest when we plan our webinars. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day.